you'll find that for every black person you have spoken to or heard about or reported on in any matter has always struggled in predominantly white environments, whether that's in the work field. We have known black people to be the last hired and the first fired. And even when it comes to regular activities like shopping, there just is always that notion that there is a sense of surveillance on black shoppers in particular. Like there is always an eye out for black people who are shopping, when in reality you find yourself just really skeptical about what the next move will be by white America. The security guards are always watching you. The school systems do not support you. Your boss and your employees have already made it very clear that this is a white corporation and you have no chance of advancing, no matter how hard you try. And if you do try, you are going to have to put in a phenomenal amount of work. Let's be real, not everybody is Barack Obama, okay? Not every black person has been granted the privileged opportunity of Ivy League education, to the point where they can utilize their knowledge and their wealth to make a significant impact in what we know today as America. You need to, if you ever want to understand black people, you got to understand the majority. And the reality is the majority struggle financially, and we just struggle in general. Despite all of our efforts towards trying to reach a sense of justice, we seem to find ourselves always being maneuvered, whether that's psychologically or politically, or systematically, into a life of suffering. And ultimately, this is not a problem that can be solved by America. Given the reasonable and respectful time frame we have given the American system to solve our problem, it has been proven ineffective, to the point where it is very essential that the only way to gain freedom or rights or any sort of leverage is to understand the importance of uniting as a community. And that is the only way we need to really take on our own problems, right? No courts will solve our problems for us. The courts, as a matter of fact, are looking for every reason. The courts are stacked against us, all right? The system is stacked against us. The hospitals don't even know how to treat you. Most of those medications, okay, and most of those treatment procedures, those are treatment procedures for white people. And you know that based on the education, okay, that these people receive related to the biological nature of quote unquote humanity. These people are always studying white DNA. They are studying white ancestry. They rarely will you see them referring to Africa for part of their studies. And this is the problem we face, that we are forced to kind of generalize ourselves into this type of system. And this is what is truly holding us back from progressing as a collective race, as even organization, as people. We never find ourselves suitable ever in any environment where we face ourselves with to adequately equip us with the procedures that we can take in order to prevent some of those causalities that bring our culture down. So my only thing is, we need to take a sense of accountability. We have to understand that contrary to what America has told us, we do have rights. If we didn't have rights to humanity or to living, we would not be alive right now. The fact that somebody attempted to take away your life is not a reflection on your lack of rights or your lack of humanity. but rather it's a reflection on the other party, the white party's lack of humanity and their lack of civil nature. Because there are many ways to go about letting someone know in particular that you do not value them or you do not want them. Okay, and that does not involve systematic incarceration, that does not involve the wipeouts of millions of workers on the plantation. That there are many civil ways to go about this. And even you tell me I'm talking about the past too much, but we have police practicing that every day as we speak. Okay, we have our own people practicing those actions every day as we speak. They are systematically working against black people, and you cannot tell me I'm acting paranoid, because the thing is, when you read about the cases, the police is always saying, and ironically it's the police who are acting paranoid. They tell you, oh, I thought he was going to harm somebody, I thought he had a gun, but there is no recorded collection of any harm done by these black people who the police accuse. There is no recorded, and I will repeat this once again, show me the evidence to prove that the people who have been accused of a mental illness in the black community have a mental illness. Show me the proof that you are capable of jumping inside somebody's head, and rather than going based on what somebody said about them, actually gaining proof. Okay, show me the proof that in the police system, where the police have gone out to say this person was going to cause harm, so we took his life. Show me the proof where this person actually did harm. And I'm not talking about self-defense, I'm talking about harm, because let me tell you something, any black man within his right mind has every right to protect himself by any means necessary, knowing the procedures that America goes through in order to try and eliminate us from the human race. All right, it's happened, and it has not faced any sort of remedy. As I keep mentioning, if we were equal, we would be able to attend white schools and white neighborhoods without being racially abused, without being abused in general. And you notice how the abuse has actually changed. It's not physical anymore, which is why it's tough for black people to gain some leverage. It's psychological. It's the psychological maneuver to the point where we don't really have much say, and it really gets to that point where you don't even have the opportunity to actually speak your voice, as they want you to make it seem, is irrelevant. Okay, they don't give you the right to speak in court, which is why more often than not you find white lawyers having to represent black men. And here's the thing, why don't you ever see black lawyers representing black men? In all these cases, you never see black people standing up for the black community in any forms, right? We believe everything that we've been taught. We believe everything we hear in the media. And this is my only criticism, that before we even go and address white America for the lack of freedom, we need to address ourselves, because this situation has been ongoing. And I feel like for as long as you don't acknowledge the fact that we have a problem of working together, that things are truly going to be problematic. Okay, and this is the issue that we face when it comes to just forming that idea that it doesn't matter what you've been taught in North America. How is somebody going to teach you about you? And I'm challenging the authorities right now, and every so-called professional. How are you going to learn black knowledge from a white doctor? That's like me going to an apple tree trying to learn how oranges function and grow based on their biological nature. Okay, you may put and argue that we're human at the end of the day, which is true, but two things can be true at once. You can be human and you can be different, right? Some humans have black hair. Some humans have red hair. It really depends. So this is my point. This is not a matter of treating indifference. I'm just saying that you need to understand how important it is to actually understand that to solve this problem, we need black people in the black community to speak on behalf of black problems. All right, it has reached a point where it is evident that the white authorities have no interest and do not care about solving our problems. The only reason they made they legalized our rights was because of two reasons. Number one, we fought. All right, we fought. We were fighting for years. We bled. We sweat. And number two, they were forced to. They didn't just wake up and say, we want to make you guys equal. I can guarantee you and assure you right now, it is every white man's regret, or most, should I say. Keep in mind, and I'm going to remind you once again, I'm not referring to people with white skin. It's nothing to do with your skin, all right? Because again, I understand there are some white people out there who can acknowledge and do their best to solve the situation. What I'm talking about is the political stance of supremacy, which has been indoctrinated to keep black people further away from who they are by falsely accepting America, despite the fact that America has made it clear that they do not want any part in us in their neighborhoods or schools or jobs or organizations. So this is the issue we find ourselves with, that eventually we're gonna have to truly learn how to gather and form a collective. And once we do, we could actually solve our problems. We won't have to find ourselves begging a white employer, right? Having to put on a white image to work a white job and earn white money, right? And you know what? I understand. It's survival at the end of the day. You got to do what you got to do to survive, and that's part of the problem that we have, right? But also with survival comes integrity, right? It really does come down to how familiar are you with just the general operations that kind of surround our community, right? There is nothing wrong with wanting to send your child to a white school or working a white job. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not going to act like there's fault in that, because there's not. The issue comes when you, or when somebody or a group surrenders the black community, gives up their black identity for a token of integration from white people. And this is the only thing that I would address, that you need to be aware of, that there are people in our community selling us out. There are people doing a great level of dishonor to us, and we will never actually understand how deep it is for as long as we wake up every day and we dream of the day that a miracle, a noble white man comes through and decides to help our community, right? And I'm not speaking bad about white people who help blacks, right? Abraham Lincoln, I think what he did was significant, but there's only one of him. Meanwhile, there are millions of them. So just understand that this as much as we can give credits to certain groups that help the cause, we are not in a position to just sit back and rest until everything has been solved.